Hello, people. Holy Island are making some of the strangest, cleverest, weirdest things that you've ever seen in the boutique pedal world today. And we finally got them on the show. And my co-host today is...
As always, John Mulholland, Space Wolf. And we're joined today by...
By me?
By you.
Hi. I'm Guyon. I run Holy Island Audio, little effects pedal company from Wales. I'm in Bridgend currently, so down the bottom. It's
I've
cold.
got a friend from Bridgend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's possibly the hardest man I've ever met. He's harder than a coffin nail, that man. Yeah, he plays rugby to a fairly high standard, and he's he's lovely guy, ex-Navy now. Yeah.
Fair. Yeah,
Matthew Parrott, absolute legend. But anyway,
want to give a shout out to all the usual suspects in the chat too. We got Dan Mencher, Craze Fandango, John Pardo.
Interesting.
Look at this, John Pardo. I'm here, unlike Joe. Yes, I'm always late. I always have some sort of...
We tried.
Today we're technical, so how's it going, team? Thanks for dropping in, everyone. And I've been dying to do this. This whole thing come about because it must have been one of your early videos. Now I take it you did the Debbie Ever Effects beginner fuzz video, and I was just looking at it like, this is amazing. So who did you have filming with you? Because it was like an interactive camera that was moving around. It took me a while.
Yeah, I mean, initially, so I've been making YouTube videos for, I don't know, for age. Like before I ran a pedal company, I used to do pedal demos for a bit, and then I was demoing more of my own stuff than I was other people's stuff. So it just got a bit confusing. So I was like, right, I'll just do my own stuff on there. And then I was it would literally just be demos of the pedals that I built, and then sort of work myself up into the point where I didn't mind being in front of a camera. And the singer in my band at the time, we're in different bands now, but he was just sort of breaking away from the job that he was doing to do a lot more like videography stuff. So I just asked if he would mind filming the first few and editing them so that I wouldn't have to watch myself back and cringe at it. So yeah, for the first, he probably did like maybe the first like 6 or 7 videos like that until I got around to buying a camera, or my girlfriend got around to buying me a camera rather. And then I just started editing them myself, just when I had spare time. So most of the DIY stuff is either like beginner intro things, or like stupid ideas that I'm like, well, I could never really manufacture this as a product that I could sell, so I'll just show people, because it's like I'm not like I don't want to just hoard ideas that I would never manufacture but are fun, weird things to make. So I just film it and just, I just like the discourse of having people talk and have a community that there's like a back and forth between you, and it just seems like it would be a waste to not document the stuff, like even just for myself, I think. Plus it's just like fun, isn't it, just making weird stuff,
and you always learn too in the process. Like,
of course,
you get new ideas, or like you figure out something that maybe you were like plagued with a design that you were trying to figure out, and then this other design that you were working with, and somebody says, hey, let's do this, and
yeah, and it totally like feeds back into the like. So I try and like keep the DIY stuff and the like products separate, but they both just like sort of swell in and out of each other as you get ideas, and you're like, oh, hang on a minute, this would be a really fun way to approach this one. I just haven't thought about doing it, but it does just it just leads you down rabbit holes, and you end up doing stuff that you would never have thought you'd be doing a year prior. But I guess that's kind of the fun bit. For me, at least, yeah.
I really like the community. So, as you say, you get into it with people about these circuits, and you find that the people who are watching your channel know easily more than you, and you end up learning from them as opposed to the other way around. I love that.
Yeah.
And, so my father-in-law, Glyn, he comes to all the guitar shows with me and does like stand or whatever, and he'd be like, "Why are you giving away all your secrets? You're like showing people how to build your own circuits." Like, yeah, but the guitar world isn't like that. We're not in competition. It's not like you buy a pedal from me or you buy a pedal from this guy. It's like you can buy both. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I find it's much more fun to dig into it. And a lot of the time, like things like delays have made people have said, why don't you change this little thing in it? Change it. Sounds better. And then we all get better. So that's definitely
I think,
money.
yeah, it seems like industry. I've definitely like spoken to friends who run like clothing shops. I remember someone was like struggling to find stock for some particular reason. I was like, can't you just ask the other shops at the same size as you? And they're like, oh no, nobody talks to each other. It's like, if I get stuck, I'd just message someone and be like, oh, well, they've done it. How did you figure it out? Or like even just silly things like, you know, sorting your tax out or whatever. You just message someone and be like, how did you do this? And
Yeah,
there's always someone on the other end to be like, oh, it's just this, or help you sort of handhold you through that stuff. I think that's why I do a lot of the DIY content, is because that's how I learned, is from people just giving information away on the internet. You know, if they didn't exist, I wouldn't be able to do this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Brian Wampa's book taught me how to build pedals.
Yeah, definitely.
How to modify guitar effects.
Same way, like, you know, the DIY community, like, it's always, you know, been a pay it forward too. Like, you know, if you've been taught a bunch of skills and then other people are willing to learn from you, and you know, why not?
Yeah.
Also, I want to say real quick, hello to Justin. He's in the chat. New dad.
Congratulations.
I'm clicking the wrong message there. Hello, mate. How's it going? He builds some of the most insane pedals. Have you ever seen his pedals, Justin Drawbridge? He does like these old school. It's like old school component. Kind of. It's a little bit like my sort of thing, but on like a massive scale. Some of the components in there are just mad. Yeah. Like
bigger sounds better, doesn't it? It's basically the rules.
Yeah, or more inside there, like bigger circuits.
Yeah.
Like
there's more space for the more space for the germanium to keep cool.
Exactly.
Like it's got more airflow around it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I emptied the air out of my pedals and I put in some real Hendrix vibes instead. So it's like it adds to the.
What does that smell of?
You got some Jimmy in a can.
Yeah. I think it smells a little bit.
It smells a little bit like some skunk, I think.
Well, that's what I was.
I'd imagine so.
No, so what sort of circuits are your inspiration? Because your designs are mad. Like even we were talking before the show, the joystick and things like that. It's just crazy.
It's just like you know, like I grew up listening to a lot of like punk and hardcore stuff, and then like lent over into just like weirder noise stuff. So I tend to always be looking for like, what is the most like ridiculous sound that I could put in this context. And like I don't really feel
my own heart.
Yeah, like nothing is truly unusable if you've got like an imagination. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of the inspiration and a lot of the companies that have like inspired me have kind of just ignored the norms a lot of the time and just gone for something for the sake of just like trying something new or trying something weird. Like it seems a lot more exciting to me than trying to like. And also, people are already like incredible at replicating like classic guitar sounds or whatever, and I'm like, I couldn't compete with that, but I can make things sound horrible, so I'll do that instead.
It gets complex as well, though, doesn't it, when you're chasing something new? I struggle. I did a C2 on tag board, and it was like the most ridiculous thing. There's like 3 rows of tag board. It was not unnecessary.
That's where the PCB comes in handy. Yeah, I mean, if you ever slip over into that, it also makes prototyping a lot easier. So I'll do like a half design on a PCB when I'm prototyping, just because like I love breadboards, but I will always knock them over. I'm just clumsy in that sense. So whatever I've set it to, I knock it and it no longer works. So it's just easier to have random little bits of PCB. Like I've got like, there's just like bits and bobs around here that's just taped together because it just means that I can have sections and it's all modular. So I know that like this section works. I can test that. I can test this, and then I can put them together and see what happens.
Oh, cool.
I love that.
I like to do that too, but I take like little through hole board, prototyping board, and then put sockets in it. So I build the circuit as a breadboard so I can change components out. I think I can connect those circuits together. And a lot of my designs came about that way. Where different circuits kind of bumped uglies and then something new was born.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's totally like my approach to a lot of things, is just like, what if I just cram this into this, or and also with that like sort of semi like I realize it's like flimsy whatever, you got to hold it together with tape, but you can put it on a pedal board and it will survive like at least 3 shows before it dies. And I kind of like the danger of the fact that it's like might not survive the show. Do you know what I mean? That's like I get something out of that.
It makes it interesting. It's like playing,
exactly.
playing a little game. Will it make it? Will it not?
Music needs danger. That's that's the fun bit.
This blue tack comes in really handy for prototyping.
Oh, I love blue tack.
Like this is the very first verified circuit of the salt grinder. Like that's the first of the 100 that I got, and I put components in it and wired it into the proto board, and it lives. Once I remembered to put the JFET and the MOSFET in, I plugged it in, and I was like, I've got LED, I've got bypass, and I've got no signal. What the hell? And then I opened it up and was like, oh, dummy, it needs a MOSFET and a JFET.
Oh, I love doing that.
Yeah.
That's one thing about surface mount that you just cannot beat. And people are going to find this weird for me to say, especially me, which, everyone knows that I love big components and I'm old school as you get. But you can't beat a JFET on a surface mount because it's the right one and it works. It's not fake. It's not kind of out of spec. It's not mislabeled. It's
the not having to worry too much about like measuring stuff. I do also have like the attention span of a child, which I don't think helps with a lot of that. Like I've got bags and bags of old components that I've been gifted by people, like old transistors and capacitors and stuff. And I'm like, it's so cool. Like I really love this stuff as objects, but I just don't have the attention span to sit there and get stuff. I like to build like newer things into old boxes and stuff, you know? But that's about as close as I get to going down that avenue.
I've modded a few surface mount pedals, like the like some TCO electronic ones and that, and it is just so hard to work with for me.
Without a schematic as well, it definitely makes it way harder to see what's going on. But you can cram a lot in, which is like the fun bit for me, at least.
Or you can make them really small. I'm not one for small pedals, but some of the things today are insane.
Yeah, I mean, you barely have enough room to get your guitar plugged into it, much less anything else.
Oh yeah, I love it. Like as big as possible on the pedal board.
Yeah, I'm the same, mate. I'm the same.
It's got to be stompable.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if out of your designs, if you had one where you finished it, your prototype's done, and you've just gone, that's like the best thing I've made. You know, like the one that you're really proud of.
I mean, I do get like that honeymoon period at the end, and then I start to doubt stuff, and then I'll meet someone who's played something, and they'll be really nice about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I do really like that, and I'll test it again, and I'll be like, oh, I'm back in that headspace. But I tend to, it's just whatever I've finished most recently. So I'm working on this like delay thing at the minute, which I'm trying to not talk about. And it's really difficult because I'm like naturally an oversharer. I'm trying to stop doing it because I've done it in the past. And then it's like prototypes that I've never finished and people still ask me about them now. And I'm like, okay, we'll try not to say until I'm like sure that it's done. But this delay I'm hoping it'll come out like before the year's out or whatever, but that's the last thing that I finished where I was like, okay, this actually sounds like what I meant it to sound like in my brain I've been thinking about it for ages. And it turns out, like with everything with electronics, it was like the most obvious solution ended up fixing all the problems I was having. And I was trying to be clever, and I just needed to go for the brute force approach, I think. But yeah, that's probably the last thing that I finished where I was like, okay, this will be fun. But then with a lot of that stuff, like when I'm super excited about a thing and then I'm expecting there to be like a decent reception for it, nobody cares. And then the thing that I haven't thought about at all, people are like, oh, that's the one. So I can never gauge it.
It's so weird because we say this after every guitar show. I'm like, there's always one pedal that I do that I haven't got enough of. And whatever guitar show I go to, that's the one that people want. Yeah. It's like, have you got any Octave Fuzz? And I'm like, no one bought them last time, so I didn't pick any. And like loads of people will ask for it. Like, what is going on?
It's very odd. I don't know what that. It's got to be some sort of like psychology thing going on there. As soon as it's not available, people definitely want things more.
The scarcity. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's that.
I think I just don't have my finger on the pulse. It's like a train going on, and I'm just so out of touch.
You're out of phase, mate. You're back in frequencies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. or I'm just really old and behind the times, one or the other.
Hey, man.
I think
Snapper.
it's easier to be that way. I think if you pay too much attention to trends and stuff, you just end up chasing your tail. Like it's way easier to just, focus on whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, I pretty much stay the same all the time, and everything catches up to me, and in a loop eventually, like it all comes back. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm hip. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm hip. No, I'm not.
Craze Fandango says, build a tube screamer. No one else is doing that.
It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, mate.
Mention that.
What's this space?
Yeah.
I'm going to do something way cooler than a tube screamer. I'm going to change the diodes.
Scream tuber.
Yeah, that's actually, to be fair, one of our friends, Simon, he runs a JSA Effects. He built me a tube screamer, and it's literally I don't know why, but it's the best tube screamer I've ever played.
Everything I've seen of his has been like I've got a lot of time for his stuff. Like it all looks class. Like I really like that it's all just like put together with label makers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he cuts out a lot of the stuff in the circuit that's unnecessary too, and it takes a lot of the things that you don't like about the tube screamer and makes it what he saw it could be. That conversation we had where he said that the reason why he decided to start making them was because he absolutely hated the tube screamer and he wanted to know why. Yeah, and so
that's a good way to learn, I think, as well. Through hatred.
Learning through spite.
He shares a lot of that stuff as well, right? So that's scene layouts that he's put out.
Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge too.
He's got a mathematical mind as well. So we had him on the show and we were talking tube screamers, and he was saying about the not the anti-log pot, whatever it is, the 20K pot has got a weird taper. And he's like, yeah, taper. But he was just like, yeah, W, that's the one. He said, well, if you change this resistor, this capacitor, and it goes through a whole thing, he says, does the maths and said that alters the frequency. You can use a 1K pot. I was like, whoa, sweet child of mine, stop right now.
Yeah.
Dial it back a bit. I must have watched that part like 20 times. You're like, it's the same electronically. It's the same thing. You just use a 1K.
Yeah.
What the hell?
God knows what they were thinking. Like that's got to be such a difficult part to source. I don't know.
I don't know anybody that makes W taper anymore.
They must have been having them custom made, surely.
It was a common thing. Yeah, it was commonly used in the 80s.
Did Boss not make their own pots and stuff, or did they?
I don't know.
I would have. Surely they were at the size that they'd be doing that. I'm not.
Well, I mean, were they alpha? Because I mean, most of the Boss stuff I've taken apart has alpha, like Alpha Japan, right?
I'm not sure.
I'd like to know what come first, the SD1 or the tube screamer, because someone copied someone, right? So maybe they copied the SD1 and was like, we'll change it with this pot.
Oh, possibly. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's as far, it's as different as it could be on that pot, I guess.
Yeah, and that spawned 1,000 other overdrives, which is fantastic. I tell you what, early on, the biggest thing I learned, which I think I might have got it off Brian Wampler, was that everything is made of just building blocks. So there's no fancy stuff. It's just like, here's a buffer circuit, here's like a boost circuit, here's a clipping EQ or whatever. And if you just break them down, you can mix and match them and shuffle a deck.
It's Lego.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think that's what turned me from just blindly building pedals to actually like designing them and stuff. Now, if you play that forward, you come to something like you're building, you're no longer doing that quite clearly.
It's still in parts. Like I still think about it in that way. I think of everything as like little sections and stages. And once you start seeing those blocks, you'll start clocking them everywhere. And it just makes like reading schematics a lot easier because you're like, oh, I've seen that before. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's clearly that's a little buffer there. Then this is splitting here and it's going over here. And you start seeing stuff. Because I mean, there's like a correct way to do things. Like I'm somewhat self-taught. So it's definitely just, I've learned from just seeing things being done over and over again, rather than knowing what. I do read like bits and bobs, and most of it will go into my brain, but most of it just slips out the other side. But you just start clocking bits that are common ways to achieve like a certain thing, and when you start mashing those bits together and go into like the extremities of it, being like, oh, why is that resistor that value, and just going, right, I'll just try a crazy small one or a crazy big one in that spot and just see what happens. I think that's like the easiest way to learn, maybe, or it is for me.
I like to experiment. Yeah, that's
yeah,
the way to go with it, I think.
Even through my Navy career, like I did 6 months training before ever seeing a ship when I was like 18 years old, 17. And they're trying to teach me about a valve. And there's all these diagrams and lessons and exams. And I got onto a ship and I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, I have no clue what this thing is they keep talking about.
Yeah.
And then the golden bold guy sits me down, puts one in front of me and goes closed, open. And I was like, oh my God, that is so easy. Now I understand it. You know? And it's kind of like some people try and overthink all of this stuff rather than just, you know, like put the thing in and change it and see what happens. And
I mean, like really clever people have like figured a lot of this stuff out, like for us to be able to just turn up. And like a lot of like classic like drive circuits and stuff are just like transistor radio circuits that have just been lifted from some data sheet anyway. So it's like it does just perpetually just grow into other stuff and just naturally evolves into new circuits. There are definitely people making stuff that is like truly innovative and out of nowhere, but that's not me. But those people definitely exist, I imagine. Well, I've spoken to them.
I was going to say not long ago I was saying, oh, there's nothing new anymore. It's all the same things repeated. And then someone said, well, what about the you know, the old lightning in a pedal? What was that pedal called?
The game changer audio.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll give you that one. And then you were like, oh, what about this? I'm like, all right, okay, so I'm stupid. I didn't realize there's lots of stuff going on.
There's definitely, it's there's a lot of like really cool stuff, and like on the smaller scale as well, like not just the bigger companies, but there is like a certain charm to the, like, I think it's because I come from like the DIY punk stuff as well, where it's like it just feels like correct for people to pass information along in that way and kind of just figure it out on your own. That's fun, I guess.
Exactly. Well, I used to have like hour-long conversations with Simon from JSA, and he'd like tell me some stuff to try, and I'd be trying to write it down, but trying to act like I'm not. And then he'd ask me a question, I'd disappear for 2 hours. Really, I'm on Google trying to learn it, so then I don't look talking to him, you know. And he gave me so much information, and I just learned a ton. And then I think it's almost like a responsibility to pass that on. Otherwise, we'll get to a point where no one's building this stuff, and it's dead. So
I'd be amazed if that happens, but
there's arts that are really close to dying like that. Like, you know, there's like 5 people in the world that practice them, you know, to the level that they used to be practiced at.
I mean, a lot of things is going the surface mount way. So if we don't learn circuits bare bones, it's intimidating. If even taking a back off some of these pedals, you think I'm never going to learn that. But when you break it down to something like, I don't know, a through hole circuit, you can kind of see what's going on and learn it. It's less intimidating, and then you can move on to the bigger stuff.
It's just like zooming in and out really with that stuff. You know, you take it bit by bit and everything's relatively easy to understand. It's only when you're like looking at the whole thing and being like, oh God, there's so much in front of me. But as soon as someone goes, oh well, if you actually just look at it like this is just a little boost bit, this is this little EQ section, which you've seen in like other pedals, and you know, just general bits and bobs, you just see it in circuitry. And once you start thinking about it like that, it's less intimidating, I think. But I mean, I'm no expert by any means. I just have figured these bits out through trial and error and just spending obscene amounts of money on getting stuff fabricated and it not working. But that's kind of fun, I guess. It's the only way I can learn.
We have somebody
have you ever
that said,
done that?
Said, can you make the Richie Blackmore MTC master tone circuit? I guess on a future build.
Unfortunately, I have no idea what that would be.
I mean, that might be addressed to Joe. I'm not sure. For like one of his.
We were talking tube screamers then, so is that like a mod for the tube screamer?
I have no idea.
I do like Richie Blackmore. I could definitely see me looking into that. I did the what was the pedal? The foul treble booster, because I found an obscure website that showed Richie Blackmore with one. I was like, well, I'll build that one.
Okay.
Have you ever built a circuit that, or designed a circuit, sent it away, it's come back and it's not worked, but it's been something else that is kind of cool? Because we were talking about the Never Drive and the Torn speaker. Torn speaker. They're the same circuit from what I can see, but there's a transistor flipped. So like I'm thinking, was that a happy accident? One went in the wrong way and it was like, oh, brilliant.
I'd imagine so. Like a lot of that stuff is like tiny little, again, building blocks, and you just patch different bits together, turn a transistor around, and it feels completely different.
Mhm.
And I've definitely ordered stuff, thought like, I don't know what I've done here, but this sounds incredible. But then I don't know. Then I have to spend the time going over it to be like, what did I do wrong so I can do that again? And then it's really difficult to actually nail it down, because it's like when you weren't sure what you've done in the first place, to then go back through, and you're essentially reverse engineering your own mistake to be like, right, let's do it on purpose and see if we can like control it somewhat.
Yeah.
That's happened a few times. I do just box stuff up. Like I've got there's like a big old distortion somewhere knocking about here. Where on earth would I put that? Doesn't seem to be there. Oh, I'll put it up here. So like this was like it's all dusty and horrible. This was like a prototype that didn't work properly for like a pedal that I made with a band called Sugar Horse, who are like they kind of sound like if The Cure like smoked loads of weed and like started a sludge band. That's how I would describe it. And we made this really stupid pedal that had no controls apart from one gigantic toggle switch, which was essentially like if you ever played like the DoD death metal, which is arguably one of the worst pedals of all time, but I really like the sound of it. It's essentially that with like an octave up before it. But the first revision of the PCB would just like oscillate like crazy. And then I'm like, that's really irritating. And I'm like, it's kind of like irritating in quite a satisfying way though. So I just put that one in this big box. So I've got like it as a little noisemaker. I put a filter in the box with it. And I do a lot of that stuff. I just like making those bits for myself. Like, and it's like, I don't 100% know why it behaves in that way. And I haven't really looked into it because I needed to get it finished for the deadline for that band. But it's fun to just have those little weirdos, like the kind of thing. If I was to sell this to someone, they would absolutely complain. But but if it's for me, I'm never going to complain to myself, I guess.
And then of course there's one of those weirdos that's going to come along and hear it and try and pry it out of your hands.
Yeah.
How much?
That happens too. I mean, that's how I started building or selling pedals. At least I used to just make stuff for myself and I'd post it to Instagram, and eventually I just buckled and started selling stuff. I didn't want to do it until I knew I could lay out a circuit board that wouldn't, die. I was paranoid about that for a long time, and then I was like, okay, these have been on a pedal board for at least a year and they all seem fine, so maybe everything's fine.
It's a thing about bringing value, isn't it? You don't want to sell someone something for money that they've earned and then not give them value. So
yeah, exactly.
That's an honorable way to do it. When you've just reminded me of the worst pedal experiment that I ever attempted.
Oh yeah.
And I actually sold the pedal. So I went through a stage of like germanium transistors need to be cool. I'm a refrigeration engineer. I can do this. So I put like a little mini fridge plant type thing inside the pedal.
Sick.
But the fan, it sounds like an air raid siren whenever you turn the fan on. It's just like, and it reacted to your guitar's playing.
Even though something like that.
It was that, yeah, like that. And it was horrific, but it was cool because you could put the air raid siren on and then play guitar, and it kind of mimicked the guitar a little bit, but it was really annoying. And I ended up selling it. And
that sounds cool to me. I would have bought that off you, I think.
If you could hook that up to an external CV and then ramp it up and ramp it down. I mean, come on, man.
Well,
minds think alike.
All I could hear was absolute failure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's difficult when it's your mistake. It's harder to look at it and go, "This is cool." Yeah.
Yeah. I sold it to someone. I was like, just never turn that switch on, otherwise it'll sound terrible.
Fair. Well, I mean, Benson did something similar to that recently, right? I don't know how they were cooling it, but they were cooling or keeping a germanium transistor at a certain temperature somehow. I don't know how they were regulating that.
They're using a diode between the emitter and the collect. No, base and the emitter.
What? And it was just
it just shorts voltage across. I've got a drawing of it. I got this from Stu Tate from Tate Effects. He showed me how to do it. I think it does change the sound of the transistor if you want to be really picky. So it's like a trade-off. Great if you want to keep them the same temperature, but for me, I'm like,
just play in a nice temperature room.
Or just have a switch and change between two.
If it sounds good that night, leave it on, flip it off.
Yeah, boom.
Well, I think that's the reason why a lot of germanium transistors came with these heat shields too. Like you have these shields that go over, especially like the NKT, like round tubular ones. A lot of the ones that I found in old circuits, they've got these really cool shields that are, I think, are there to dissipate the heat because they're packed in with all kinds of stuff. So it's going to get hot in there.
Bolt them to the chassis. Don't do as a heat sink.
No. This just slides right over the can.
I know
I've got one over
like,
here. Yeah.
It looks like a star type.
Well, no, this looks like it's kind of like a little spring steel kind of thing that has a hollow space. It's like a shield that goes over the can, gives you a hollow space, and then another shield. So it creates an insulating airspace.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, you find them in a lot of television circuits, a lot of things that would be prone to overheating and stuff like that. But I think that was one of the workarounds, and that might be like a low-tech way to do it for our modern pedal builds too.
Yeah. I do find it funny how, people obsess over like these old spec parts, and at the time I'm sure engineers would be like, this is terrible, like we need to move past this because it's so unreliable. And when silicon came along, I'm sure people were like, this is incredible, like chuck all that in the bin.
I've just done a video on germanium silicon transistors for this very thing, mate, because it was like, you've got to think the design for like military hospital equipment that you don't want to drift, you know what I mean? So it was exactly that. And the NG275, you can pay like, I think there's a pair on eBay for £700. Yeah, and one of them's out of space. Madness.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But at the time they were the cheapest waste ones, which is why they were in the fuzz face. I mean, the fuzz face was cheap. So, I mean, Hendrix used one because it was 10 guineas cheaper than a tone bender or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Now, because of all this history and the scarcity, and people just go mad for them. And I'm saying it like I'm criticizing it. No, I'm the guy. I would pay £700 for one. I don't care. But I can look at it and laugh about it. It's ridiculous because the Navy's moved past technologies now to newer stuff. Oh yeah, the older stuff would be worth way more to me. I'm like, this is way better. But,
I'm sure the like military spec stuff would like last. I don't know, because if it is germanium, it would still have those same properties, I guess. But surely
still can grow whiskers.
Yeah, well, I've got something like 700 military spec NKT 275s.
Oh, sick.
Still in the packaging, new market packaging, and they all test they're from 70. I'll get the box in a minute. They're from 70 something, but they all test between 70 and 80 HFE with a leakage of like 80 to 150, every single one of them. And I don't know whether that's anything to do with the spec or because they've been stored in a air-conditioned,
possibly
correctly packaged, as opposed to the thing. But
someone's attic or something.
Yeah, or in a bit of equipment,
that too, yeah.
Used. I just think it's all madness. And as much as I think some people lean into the snake oily side of it, which I hate, that you don't need to do that. But part of it is history. So if you're happy like me to pay for the history, great. I'm not going to criticize that. But when people say, oh, you can hear the difference between this transistor and this transistor, I'm calling bullshit on that. I think each transistor is its own thing. You can never say, because, you buy 100 of them. You could probably, hear the difference between most, especially germanium. They're living and breathing things. That's why, and that's another thing for surface mount. You're getting consistency. So if you're building, it's no good to me because all my pedals are one-offs. Yeah. It would actually make it harder for me to make them one-offs. But if you're reproducing something, I mean, you don't want your iPhone one day searching Google and the next day not,
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I find it just easier to design that way as well. When you know that everything's going to stick in the same thing. The simpler the circuit, the easier it is to have like a bit of drift, and everything will still, like, it won't always be, work out perfectly. But that's another bit where I quite like that edge of like, ooh, is it going to sound terrible? Oh, it's actually fine. There is something like I've got bits and bobs like stuck around here, and eventually I'll just make stuff. But it's I don't know whether I would ever make like an assemble thing unless I got some crazy big stash of something that I knew was relatively consistent. But never say never.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, I get a lot of hell on my videos because the internet loves to tell people what to do. But I get a lot of people saying, "Oh, you shouldn't use that type of capacitor. They're out of spec." Like as if I haven't tested every metric that I possibly can. You know, you know.
I mean, those people will never do anything either. That's the thing. Those people that comment that's I've never clicked through on like a YouTube channel or something that I've had a comment like that and found content on there. There's never any contribution from those people because they sit around, they talk to themselves in that same way. Do you know what I mean? They're as critical to themselves as they are to you. So I just kind of like ignore that stuff. But it is the internet. So, I mean,
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I live for it, mate. It sounds so bad.
No, that's so way healthier, I think.
I love it. When you open it, it's War and Peace, and they're telling me everything I've done wrong. I get excited, and my wife's like, "Why are you such a child?" And I'll have a not like a malicious conversation, a good conversation with them. And I'll put my points forward. And in the end, I think what they're trying to do is wind it up. And because you know, I'm living a dream. I'm doing my hobby whenever I want. You know, you're never going to make me upset about it. So it's kind of like kill them with happiness and kindness, and they get fed up.
Oh,
and they're like, your pedals are crap. Like, brilliant, great.
Perfect. I think just putting out positive stuff like that, because the internet can be like so negative, especially at the minute. And it's like, I do feel like just putting out these little bits like the DIY stuff, it is just, you know, just for the sake of having a good time. Like, not everything has to be this super serious thing on the internet. Like, you can just make stupid little fuzz pedals, like with joysticks attached to them that just squeal all the time. Like, and you'll still get people being like, "I would never use this." And it's like, that's fine. Like, I'm not making you build it.
Yeah,
I would never.
There's
use
1,000 other pedal builders that make things that you probably might use. So, hey.
You see a master craftsman making a violin, I can appreciate the craft. I'm never going to use it.
Exactly. I don't play violin.
How dare you make the free content for me?
Literally,
But I really enjoy it. And so for anyone who happens to be a troll out there, please do comment on my videos. It makes my day. It's fantastic. My father-in-law gets really offended. He's like, "Oh, they're taking a mick out of you, all this stuff." And I'm like, I like it, mate. I just like, you know,
I think that's way healthier than my solution is to just be like, "Well, I'll just ignore it."
Well, that works too. Because that annoys them too. You know?
100%. Yeah, it's if there's no reaction, then they've completely wasted their time, which is more satisfying. I don't know. Yeah,
I've got a few regulars on Facebook. I can almost guarantee every video I'll get a comment.
Oh, really?
It's fantastic.
Facebook is worse for that sort of thing, I think. But
I just dipped out of Facebook completely. It's just a wasteland these days.
I would like to do that. If I didn't have the business, I 100% would have left. But
do you know what? It must be the Navy, because sometimes I actually do stop, because some people will lean into it and get more malicious as you go along.
Oh, really?
I have to just stop them and say, "Look, mate, I've been in the Navy for over 2 decades. There's nothing you can say to me that is worse than I hear every single day in work." There's nothing. And then you stop commenting, and it's like, "Oh, well, that's no fun." Okay. But,
that's definitely going to up your tolerance.
And so this is how annoying I am. Sometimes I'll find videos that I know will get bad comments. I'm like, "Well, I'm making them then."
Oh, really? Yeah.
I can't understand. Because and another thing is, you're doing it as your only, you know, it's your income, as you said before the cast. If you don't make pedals, you know, it's your way.
Cat doesn't eat. Yeah,
exactly that. Whereas for me, I've got a job, so pedals are like something that is fun at the minute. It will be a job, and maybe I won't make unserious videos that annoy people after that. But at the minute, it's like,
I think that stuff works. Like, if you can put that stuff out, I think it does just sit way better on the internet because it's genuine. Do you know what I mean? It's people tend to resonate with people who are genuine a lot more than they do some sort of weird false persona that some people put across. It's an odd one. Like, if I had a job again, I don't know if I could do a real person job again, but
I don't know if the real person job could do me. I'll tell you that.
That's such a good comment that I couldn't do a real person job anymore. That's fantastic. Grace Fandango says the AI images. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
So I that aforementioned CE2 video. I wanted a cartoon picture of a CE2. I couldn't find one.
Okay.
And I am a pauper. I can't afford to pay an artist, so I just put it into an AI app. I made the image, and it got like, I don't know, 3,000 negative comments that were blocked automatically by
really
by Facebook.
That bad?
And I got death threats and all sorts for irresponsible.
That's yeah,
not for the reasons I would have thought. I would have thought, like, you know, stealing off artists, you know, that's fair enough. But it was climate change, and I was like, well,
okay. I mean, there's that one too. Like, I'm not particularly a big fan of AI, but I don't go out of my way to comment on people's usage. I just wouldn't use it personally, but
yeah, it just blew my mind.
I mean, I don't think the AI that's on your phone is using the amount of power that they think the AI data centers that
I just don't know.
You know,
and okay, I just made an image not needed that minute, and it got to some real levels where I thought, I can see how people on the internet get cancelled and feel bad if they're that sort of person. But I'm really not. So it was like a couple of days where every video I put out got thousands of views, and I was like, this is great. But
that's the thing. If you can handle that heat, like rage engagement does incredibly well, because like social media is designed to make people angry. So you get loads of eyes. You probably sell a bunch of stuff just by winding some people up.
But it was something that I weren't expected as well. Like I could say some things like germanium's better than silicon, prove me wrong, and that'll get loads of comments. Fine, and I know that that's coming, but I just weren't expecting it for this one thing. I was like, I don't know. It's like there's lots going on in the world. This is not important. This is just me making a pedal or whatever.
For sure.
Well, it took off, and that's what Crazy Fandango is saying about the AI images. It always gets a comment. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I have this real bad habit of when we got a pedal builder guest on, I completely ignore the chat and just get into the whole thing, and then afterwards I get loads of messages of people saying thanks for answering my comments. Like, sorry. The biggest problem with people and pedals, there's far too many pedal snobs, especially on gear forums. I don't really go on any gear forums, I've got to say. It's been
it's been so long since I've been on a forum for that very reason. I mean, the best troll baiting you can ever do is to drop into like a really serious gear forum, like a Telecaster or Stratocaster forum, and just say, you know, you guys would be like 10 times better if you just shut up and played your guitars and then just drop out and then just watch them explode, man. They just go... You know.
I used to love that Telecaster forum when I was first starting out. I learned how to mod guitars and all sorts on there, but I get a couple of messages now and again with people linking me to people saying how terrible I am on the internet, which is fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's okay. Do you not get that? Am I just an abrasive person, maybe?
Possibly. I don't know. I mean, I don't go on like Reddit or anything like that. Every now and then someone will send me a screenshot of someone being nice, and I'll be like, oh, that's a nice thing for me to read, but I won't go out of my ways to go and read what people say because it's the internet. So
exactly, it's not. I find many people wouldn't say the same things in real life.
Oh, 100%. No,
I love meeting people. Like, guitar shows are great because you get to meet everyone that you've been speaking to on the internet, and 9 times out of 10 I get someone come up and say, oh, I'm really sorry, or wow, I really love your stuff, or you know, I think it's easy to misconstrue words.
Interesting.
You know? So especially on, I find Facebook to be the worst out of them all.
It is.
I would have never thought that, because normally Facebook, I'm in a family bubble and I don't really have anyone on who's not, you know. So it's amazing, really amazing what people, especially when you're building pedals for people to see how to do it for free type thing. That blows my mind. Maybe I wouldn't do it like that. Like, okay, well.
It's irrelevant. I did have someone. The only one that I get is people being like, "Oh, you're saying solder wrong. It's a silent L," and I'm like, "Well, I am British. Sorry."
Just like
it's just like
they probably say
speak, unfortunately.
They probably tell you you're saying aluminium wrong too.
Yeah.
I had that on my last video. Did you watch it, John?
I don't think I did. Did I watch that one?
Because I said aluminium, and they were like, no, it's not. That's not how you say it. And so I dug into the history of aluminium, and it was created by an English guy in the 1800s.
Of course it is.
It's aluminium.
So,
it's correct. It's aluminium. Yeah.
So that's how you say it. But
I know this from chemistry.
Well, I didn't actually know because I've never looked into it, but I did get that. Yeah, on my last video. The what video did I just put on? Anyway, it doesn't matter. it just blew my mind. Like, I'm
Of course,
speaking
the Sprag
language
Sprague
called English.
debate, the Sprag Sprague
Oh,
debate, that goes
yeah,
back to dialect. I can guarantee it,
Yeah.
because I know people that say vague and I know people that say vag. So
someone
don't be
actually
vague, ask for Sprag. Don't be vague,
That's
ask for
it.
Sprague. That's it. So they're both right. Don't you get it? That's the
I
three-body
just never
problem
knew how-
solved.
years I haven't been able to say that, like Sprague, Sprag, Sprague. I don't know.
I mean, I'm Welsh. Like, Welsh is my first language, so if I get it
There you
wrong, that's
go.
my excuse every time.
I tell you what, for as far as places go, Wales has got like such a rich thing going on with music at the minute. Like Chris Buck, probably the best guitarist in the world at this moment in time. And
Okay,
I will,
interesting. Yeah, I mean,
might have
Wales
to-
Wales has always been pretty good. Oh, at least because I'm from Anglesey originally, hence the like Holy Island bit. Yeah, I moved down to South Wales. I was living in Bristol prior to that for university and stuff, and I moved to South Wales maybe like 8 years ago or something. But when I was a kid, it seemed like there was always stuff going on. It still feels like that. Like, there's still like music scenes that people are still going to shows. It's definitely like doesn't help that the councils just essentially like kill all that stuff. We've got basically like 2 venues left in Cardiff really that you can put shows on. But I mean, people are still going. Like, if you put the stuff on, people will come.
Yeah.
We did play a show the other day actually in Plymouth, and like the opening band were all 16, and it actually like filled my heart with hope, because they were playing like essentially like Korn style guitar, and I was like, wow, everything's just gone. It's just like a full circle moment. Everyone was in baggy jeans. Everyone was playing these horrible breakdowns, and I was like, wow, I've either gone back in time or nature is healing.
How Plymouth on a night. So I've spent most of my career in Plymouth. I absolutely love the place, and it's just such a good night out. But I love that. I love that you went down to Plymouth to play a gig.
Yeah, I mean, we record. My band recorded there. When would that have been? Like March. So we just fancied going back down to see the guy that we recorded with as well. Got invited to a show, so we were like, we might as well just make a day of it. We tend to play anything if we can, if people can bear listening to us, we'll turn up and play.
I love that. But I genuinely think there's a new generation of guitar orientated music just bubbling under the surface, because everyone's like, guitar's dead. Like, it's not dead.
It's not. Oh man,
to
just ask my 18-year-old nephew and all of his friends and the gearheads that I've seen that are like 13, 14, kids that know the difference between different things. And it's like, it's coming back around. Like I said,
they've been saying that for years, though.
All I need to do is just stay the same. I'll be cool again. It's all right.
Yeah. I've got hope. I think TikTok as well. And like shoegaze has been having a big revival with like the younger generation and stuff. I find it really funny that people are just like discovering Deftones or whatever through TikTok. Just seems so wrong that that's the way that people are finding out about bands like that. But if it brings them into the fold, and that's where I mean, if you went back to the bands that I listened to as a teenager, I would not want that information, out on the internet, because that would be highly embarrassing. So yeah, Deftones is definitely a better place to start, I reckon.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in the era of disco, so
nice.
My thing was Oasis, so I'm like the old man, the geeky old man music.
Okay,
Even my wife and kids think I'm an old man.
Okay.
What I mean?
Yeah. How old are you? Is that rude to ask?
No, I'm 40.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's not old.
See, I'm 56.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm 16 years your senior, mate. So
yeah.
Yeah, but you're not a day over 16 in your personality.
Oh, of course not. It's never too late to have a happy childhood, is what I say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good slogan.
But I mean, I've got like
own,
like I'm pretty much typical blues boomer, like very, very standard taste in music, which I find, which is odd enough that your taste in music really colors the way that you build pedals.
Yeah.
Really. And I'm building that Devi Ever pedal. Every part that I put in the video is funny, because I'm like, I would just not put this here, and I wouldn't use that value, and it was like foreign to me type thing. And at the end of it, it sounded awesome, and I was like, just shows there's so many different ways to skin a cat.
That's the fun bit about music, though, isn't it? Is that like what could be the perfect sound to me would be the worst sound of all time to someone else. Like that's if everyone was into the same stuff, it would be insanely boring and super beige.
Yeah, definitely. Even I don't think I've ever been to a live gig where I've been excited to see what they're playing.
Yeah,
you know,
even if
like,
it sucked, you know.
Yeah.
I went to see a band called the Illegal Eagles, like an Eagles tribute band.
Yeah.
And I was really excited because it's like I was definitely the youngest person in there, which made me feel great. But we got there and they had two Kempers on the stage with no band, and I was like, oh, Kempers, come on. They started playing, I was like, wow, that sounds amazing. Do you know what I mean?
I've heard some crazy stuff, quad cortex stuff, and I'm like, this sounds so good. And I totally get why, like, if people are touring the world or whatever, of course you'd want to do that. But I don't think I could play a show without an amp behind me. I think it would just, that's part of the, like, I don't play it for anyone. Now, I'm doing it for myself most of the time. So it's like, I might as well enjoy it. Or there's no point.
And not to mention, I'm really bad because my amp's got like a bass, a treble, and a middle, and I'll twiddle with them endlessly looking for sounds. If you add in 20 other amps with all these other controls, I will basically never play guitar.
Yeah.
Messing about with,
Yeah.
You know,
Joe,
that's where I like to
start
live.
yet? The gig's almost over.
Well, the last gig I went to local is like this time. So I had Todd, my mate Todd, he does the Guitar Knobs podcast. He's like the main host. So he flew over and he had a week here. And I was like, while you're here, we'll just go to this local pub. Someone from work said there's a band on. Let's go and check it out. And we get in there, and the pub's like the size of my garage that I'm filming in now.
Yeah.
And the band start coming in, and there's a full, valve bass rig. The guitarist got a 50-watt Silver Jubilee with a 412. I mean, the part that they're occupying is as big as where everyone else is, and it was just like ridiculous. And I was like, it's restored my faith in music here. It was.
I love those shows. I love them.
So good.
Yeah.
I ended up stood in the worst position ever because this Silver Jubilee was just right at me. It was horrendous, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
It's like good on him for dragging all out and being this is for me. I
love doing that. So we toured with like a Swiss band years ago, and we were playing the Bird's Nest in I think it's Deptford, is it, just outside of London? And we'd already played like 3 shows, and every time we turned up, they were like, "Oh, is that the stage?" And we're like, "That's that corner of the room is the stage." And the Bird's Nest is like the smallest corner out of all the corners, and they'd brought their own sound guy who was doing like white noise tests as he was walking around the place. It's like,
oh no,
mate, just plug into your amps. Like this, we don't need to do any of this. But I think
it's not the Royal Albert Hall.
No, I think they'd come from like, government actually giving you money to make music or whatever. Whereas here it's very much like DIY prevails, I think, a lot of the time. I mean, otherwise there'd be nothing there, so you've got to do it yourself. But it's just funny to see their reaction to walking into this place and being like, no, that is, you stood on the stage, like it's that corner.
Oh my god, we can get maybe the guitar rig in here. So what is it that you tour with? What's your rig?
Like incredibly bog standard rig. I play a JCM 2000, like a DSL 100. The most like classic. One of the amp I was playing at the time died, and I had to borrow one, and I was like, this is the most generic amp of all time, and it's so perfect for pedals because everything sounds good through it. And I play with like a preamp constantly on. It's like one of my favorite pedals is the Rusty Box. I don't know if you ever played one of those. It's like a bass preamp.
I think I've heard of it. I've never played it. I know I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's literally the preamp, like it's a part for part clone of the preamp from a Trainer TS50B, the like bass amp.
I'm gonna have to
it's a circuit, like it's worth like checking out. Like it is my favorite sounding like overdrive, and I just have it on all the time because it just will poke through the mix regardless of like what sort of band scenario you're playing. So that's always on. I've got like a regular person size pedal board these days. Like I did used to have the Big Daddy board because I was doing like 2 bands, so I'd have to like split sounds over 2 things. But I've just got like a normal person board now, and I play a bass 6 in that band.
Oh, sweet.
But I play it like a guitar, and the setup is set up like I will just, if I'm playing guitar, I'll play through the exact same rig. But it's just so I can tune low. It's fun, isn't it? It's weird.
Oh yeah,
fun.
I love baritones.
Yeah.
Is it made by Tronographic?
Tronographic make the rusty box. Yeah.
Yeah. Those things are expensive.
I got it imported. My mate Evan, who does like Dirge Electronics. I don't know if you've seen their stuff. They imported it for me years ago. I sent it over, and I've got like this really like anal habit of having to like refinish everything into like a monochrome thing for my pedal board, which I started doing years ago. And it's really annoying that I have to do it now because like everything has to be recolored. So I sanded it down, and it was like I'd already spent like stupid amounts of money to get it.
Note to self: if I send you a gift pedal, it's going to be in a plain box.
Yeah. Oh yeah, plain box, or I'll print it. I've done trades before and just asked people like, "Oh, do you want to just not print it?" And I'll just print. And I'm like, I'm not trying to insult you. I just
it's just like gotta look just so. I get it.
It just feels right. Like as soon as I started doing it, I was like, and I do the same with it. Like I build like modular synth stuff as well, and like all that has to follow that color scheme.
Oh yeah.
And it is annoying now because it's like I buy a new pedal and I'm like, I really want to put this on the pedal board, but I've got to wait until I can be asked to strip it and either repaint it or reprint, because I screen print everything in the garage. Like I was a screen printer for years prior to doing this, so it's like no big stress to have to do that. But once you start doing it for every pedal you own, it's like fun though.
I do think that the way something looks, and it is kind of snake oily superficious, it makes you feel different about it.
I agree.
I've got like 4 pedals from Stu Tate Effects that like what's the circuit called? The bullshit boost that it's called. It's got one's got a picture of Trump on the front, another's got a picture of Boris Johnson on the front, taking the piss out of them or whatever. And I bought them all because they each make me feel differently, and that inspires you in a different way, and it just does.
Yeah. I think it's really important, like aesthetics for stuff. It's the same reason that like listening to a Kemper or a Quad Cortex sounds great, but it just doesn't feel great to me. And I don't know if it ever will. Maybe I'll get over it eventually, like probably when I'm older or less miserable, possibly. But
it's a different thing, isn't it? I mean, I don't think that they sound worse. So I'm not saying that. I just don't like them. It's not
okay. Interesting. I think they sound great. It just feels weird to me.
Yeah, and even if you could get one that does all of the things that an amp does, clean up when you roll off, or react with an overdrive, or a fuzz the same way, it's just not the same thing. It's not.
The best gig I ever saw was this like metal band. I think they're from Belgium, called Oathbreaker, and I'd never listened to them prior to seeing them, and it was like, do you know, like sometimes you just see a band and it like completely like melts your brain. And the guitarist was playing, like he had a plexi and like wedged, I can't remember, I think it was just a half stack, and like wedged between the cab and the head, he had like a like a, was it like a JC 120, whatever the Roland jazz chorus boy is. So he had that, and the second guitarist had like basically almost the same setup, and it just sounded so perfect that like it didn't matter what they played that night. I think I would have been like entranced by like just the sound of those amplifiers, and it was like crushingly loud or whatever, but was also just a perfect sounding guitar to me, I think.
Yeah. For me, it was Acid Mother Temple. I went to see them in a small club in Asheville, not knowing what to expect. And apparently the reincarnation of Jimi Hendrix is a little Japanese guy that plays Fresher, not a Fender, a Fresher, that most of the headstock and the fingerboard is like chunked out of. I don't know how he can play it.
Sick.
But like, I walked over to say hi to him when I was wearing my Moog t-shirt, and he just started bowing to me and saying, "Oh, Moog." I said, like we were having to like communicate with sign language, but like my mind was blown. I was like, and he was playing, like you said, through these big, massive like Marshall stacks, and it was just like, you could feel the air move you. It's like,
that's what music's about for me. I think it's like
I went back to the guitar. I went back to the guitar store and plugged in my pedals and turned up a stack and just went to town for a while.
Hell
yeah, because I was like, I got to get that out of me.
yeah.
So do you own a few amplifiers just to design pedals?
Yeah, quite a bit. Like if I turn this way, that's like my wall of amps. I guess there's a few more.
You see a cornford there? Is that in the middle?
No, it's a Carlsbro, like a 50
top.
Oh,
nice.
It's like a poor man's plexi. I've had it modified. There's like a negative feedback loop switch on the back, which I didn't realize was engaged when I first bought it, and I was playing it for years without realizing that was in there until I took it to a local tech, and he was like, "Oh, did you want this on here? Because it's been done like really badly." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even realize that was a thing." And he flicked it on. I've got it on a Switch now, so I can go back to it if I want. But that amp is like so nice with pedals, and the Sound City has been completely like the preamp's been rewired, so it's like I can't remember what we went for in the end. It's some variety of a Fender preamp going into the power, so it's just like obscenely loud and really clean, so pedals sound good. But yeah, most of that's just there to inspire me. I test everything on like a tiny little 5-watt Blackheart little giant. Do you remember when everyone just started making little heads?
Yeah, little tiny
Blackheart got it right in the fact that like they're Handsome Devil, great amp. But not only that, aesthetically, they nailed it. Like they look so good. Their badge is probably the perfect badge.
I mean, I have taken the badge off, but it's been there. I've had it for years. Like I bought it when I was maybe like 16, 17. You know, when I'd read on some forum that they were like, Valve amps are the best amps. So I was like, well, I've got to get one of those. What can I afford? But I've tested every single pedal I've ever built on it, and like designed every single pedal with it, because I just know it inside and out, and I can play it at like a reasonable. I've got deaf neighbor anyway, so it doesn't really matter how loud I play. But
oh wow, that's a gift.
It's nice. I mean, it's when he told me he was deaf, like I shouldn't have visibly smiled, but it was like I feel bad, but also, and he's like constantly, it's like, are you ever in the house? Because I don't hear you, and I'm like, I'm literally playing guitar all the time, like horribly loud. So that's perfect. I think he just turns his hearing aid off and just goes for it. But you've got to test things loud. I think like that's part of the excitement for me.
I had this funnily enough, with a Tube Screamer, I made this massive mistake that I missed out a wire going to air through a cap that was basically mid-circuit and killing a high-pitched noise, but I just completely missed this wire out on like 5 pedals. I sent them out to people, but one of them was to Mick from that pedal show. And so he plugged it in as and everyone was like, best sounding Tube Screamer ever, whatever. But obviously he turned it up and he was like, mate, there's a weird noise on it, can't use it. Like, oh no. And it was because I missed out a wire, but no one knew, because everyone's playing in their bedrooms or whatever, and they're not turning up. So you have to give it some beat.
I worry, you know, that it's going to ruin someone's like their one show to like impress someone or whatever. It's like, it is important to sound as good as you can. It's like in those scenarios, I'd rather people not be disappointed. So, and it's also peace of mind for me. Like I play most of the stuff that I build. I play all of it at some point, but some stuff stays on my pedal boards longer than others. Obviously, as your like taste change in that, but it's completely different. So I will always, before I sell stuff, I'll leave it on my pedal board for at least like 3 or 4 months to be like, does this even work in a band, or is this kind of pointless? And a lot of stuff you'll try it in a band, you'll be like, oh, this like just doesn't make sense anymore, and I'm gonna have to rethink what I'm doing. Oh, nice.
So some people are commenting with amps. Yeah, that high watt's insane. They're just so loud.
Which high watt model is it?
I think he's got the 20 watt. Is it 20 or 50? He's got the
I thought he had a 50.
Yeah, it might be. It might be Mark Streves who's got the 20.
I love the high watt. They high watt sent me. They traded me an amp for a pedal a few years ago, which is pretty good. They're little like it's like switchable between 40 watts and 20 watts.
That's a custom 20, is what he has.
Oh, custom 20.
Yeah. I just saw him pop up in the chat with it. I'm going to tap out for just a second. I got to use the bathroom. Coffee.
Shouts out to Joe using the little giant. I absolutely love that.
Hell yeah.
Mate.
It's so good.
For mods as well, if you wanted to mod it.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got like a Valve Junior as well that I bought just because I was like, right, do I just get all those little lunchbox amps and just see what's what? It doesn't sound as good, I don't think, but there was one point when it died and I was like on eBay and I was like bidding on like 3 or 4 where I was like, I need to buy, because I knew I could get it fixed, but I was like, if this goes, because I test everything and that's like my benchmark for everything. I was like, if I don't have that to test stuff, I'm going to be so uncertain with any new design, and everything I've tested, I'm going to be like, does it sound right? I don't know.
So true. Like, and I even have down to the fact that my test amp is a 1965 Gibson GA5T. I'm not getting another one. It is. I'm there's
Yeah.
not that many of them, but someone's monkeyed with it, so it's not like an original either. And it's like, if that goes, I could never design a new circuit because it's just not happening. But it's
you'd
funny
have to
you
get it
mentioned it.
cloned or something.
Well, I did clone it, and it sounded nothing like that. And I even measured every cap.
Yeah.
And this is how annoying that this stuff is. I measured every cap inside it. I got transformers made, all this stuff, and it sounded completely different. So I'm like, right, I give up. You can't copy stuff like that.
That's fair. Yeah, it's the mojo.
Yeah, the mojo, or I just didn't do it right.
I mean, that could also be a thing. Yeah, I mean, I've done that one.
The Epiphone Valve Junior, I'm watching a few of them now, both combo and head, because it's like, I fancy doing some mods on them again. I remember years ago doing like, various different mods on them, or even like a balanced out and stuff like that on them. It's just cool. Great for that sort of thing.
And just learning. I mean, like amplifier circuits are like, when you compare them to like fuzz pedals and stuff, there's tons of similarity. The only scary bit is the whole, like electrocuting yourself to death and stuff, which is kind of like a downer. But if you can get over that and not do it, it's fun. So
the first amp I ever built, I remember this. It was when my daughter's 6 now, and it was like the second week that she was alive. So I got this 2-week-old baby. I've always wanted to build this amp, and I was off work, and my wife was like, just start doing it. And I finished it, and I sat looking at it on my dining room table because I was still working off the table. Haley, if you're watching, I'm really sorry about that time, because I just leave my shit all over the table. But I wouldn't turn it on because I was scared of the voltages. I was like, there's 400 volts in here, DC, that's strong. And she was like, so do you work with electricity in work? And I was like, well, yeah. So what's the biggest voltage you work with? It's like 750 volts DC. And she's like, why are you worried about that? I was like, I don't know, because I made it, not because
it's an odd thing to get. I mean, you obviously need to be careful with a lot of that stuff. Like, and it is genuinely dangerous, but the fear definitely stops people from trying stuff. Like, I'm glad
sometimes the fear gets them in trouble too. Like,
being hesitant makes things worse.
I convinced the guy on my last ship. He was the top electrical engineer type thing. That was his job. And he's really good at it, and he's into guitar. I said, why don't you build an amp, mate? You'd love it. And so we started building a few amplifiers. And as bad as it sounds, I watched him get 3 belts, 3 shocks from the filter caps in the same day in one sitting.
Dang.
So I know it's dangerous, and as low as 12 volts DC can stop your heart. It is bad. But in the scale of things,
it's the amps you got to be worried about. It's not the volts.
Well, I'm on about undischarged filter caps. So we 3 separate times, and that's like 400 volts DC. I know it's only a snap, but it's
enough to scare you.
Oh, yeah, but
well, obviously not, because he did it 2 other times after that. He was like, mate, I just keep forgetting that there's voltage there. And like you do this for a living. What are you playing
I don't think I've ever jumped as high as when I miswired like a Eurorack power supply and like switched it on the plug, and the whole thing popped, and I jumped like out of my seat and back down and like really quickly pressed the plug off again. Left it for like a day, came back to it, and I was like hesitantly turned it on after I'd rewired it. And I'm like, oh, everything's fine. But that like really shook me up a bit, where I was like, oh, this could actually like hurt me.
Oh yeah, I about got sent to a screen door by a shock one time when I went to turn on the hood vent on the fan, and I was stirring some stuff in a cast iron stove on the skillet that had water in it. I mean, I'm shot straight back.
Oh, shit,
because there was a short on the
I know a sailor who died putting his hands in a radar casing. So it's dangerous stuff. And John Pardo says, Fazio Electric is your friend. She has got an amazing
video
a
great
showing
video
how to check
stuff.
to check and discharge filter caps. Brilliant video. And she's pretty awesome, to be fair. She's like got this weird, cool 70s vibe about her. Like if she was around in the 70s, she'd probably be like
one of the coolest
like
people.
Exactly. Like the cool tattoos, the bell-bottom trousers and stuff. I mean, it's dangerous stuff, but at the end of the day, if you don't try it and you don't get into it, you're never going to have the satisfaction of when you do turn it on and it works. It's a hard thing to explain, that when you've worked on something difficult, like a big circuit or something you've never done before, and when you first turn it on to test it and it works, it isn't quite like anything that feels
No.
like that.
I mean, I march into the living room a lot of the time to tell like my girlfriend, I'm like, I've cracked it. I think I might be like the cleverest person of all time, and it'll be the most pathetic thing that I've figured out. It was just some other stupid mistake that I've made at some point. But that feeling is, I think it's the reason. I think it's the reason like most people build stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Jeffrey Shockley says, "Don't piss on an electric fence." Yep, I wouldn't have.
It can be a very
point.
Shocking experience, I'll tell you.
So, I have seen video and aftermath pictures of someone who come back to the ship drunk and weed on the power supply cables going to the ship, which is 440 volts.
Oh God!
And that the wire, obviously, of course, it had a split in it, which is bad anyway, and he got quite burnt. So
Jesus,
in the wrong places too.
I took the tip off a screwdriver when I first met my wife because I was really like excited that I met this amazing girl, and I borrowed the screwdriver off my friend, and he's like, "Don't lose it." I won't. But I stopped working, and I answered my phone, text message, and this hand just sort of drifted back into the box, and I took the tip off the screwdriver. It's bang! Like, oh no! And I have to go back down and say, "I haven't lost your screwdriver. It's now useless. I'm really sorry." It's dangerous stuff. And the problem is, if you work with it day in and day out, like with big voltages, you do get complacent. Absolutely. Which is why 9 volts the way to go. Get building pedals.
Yeah, and then you start charge pumping things, and you're like, "Oh wait."
Do you know what? I can never get a charge pump to work properly to the point where it lasts. They always seem to burn themselves out.
What are you using to do it?
The C Max. Is it something like a C?
But the one I use,
it's an op amp.
Like the LT, it's an op amp. It's an LT. Well, it's an IC chip. It's an LT 1054. That one you can do both. It doesn't give you like loads of current, and I've definitely used like bigger, like the little brick ones when I want a load of current, or if I'm doing like plus minus stuff. But for just like charge pumping up an overdrive or something, I haven't had any issues. I used to have issues with like a 7660S, or I think something like that, isn't it? Which is another common one, but that is I couldn't get those to work without having like whine and noise and stuff. And
that's another issue that I've had from them as well. I think part of mine might have been that because it's not something I use a lot, I cheaped out on the parts and bought like
possibly
a cheap op amp. It's not lasted long.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it will take the germanium transistor with it. I'm like, oh well, I'm not keen on that.
I only ever get those bits from like Mauser or somewhere that I know is going to be 100% legit. Just to save everything else. Yeah, just stops yourself like worrying and the headache of trying to fix stuff once it's gone. I'm like, I'd rather just pay the extra 50p or whatever it ends up costing.
And you know what? I know that myself, but then give me 3 weeks time, I'll be searching on eBay, just browsing. I'll be like, oh look, there's some op amps that I've never heard of. I'm going to buy.
Oh yeah, I do that too. But yeah. I was going to ask you actually. I'm in the middle. I don't know when I'm going to finish this YouTube video, but I've like bought this weird bit of what I think is a ship, but it had a little sticker on it saying that it was like RAF stuff. So I'm like, oh, it could be from a plane. Then I'll just grab it behind me. I'm going to go.
Sorry, it's going to be here.
I'll be able to tell you. Yeah, I love all this stuff. I took a lot of ships.
It's just the faceplate at the minute because I've taken the back end off.
Oh, nice. I got a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah, that looks so good.
I'm going to build it into a synthesizer, basically. But it's all going to be like fixed caps on, because these rotaries are like really satisfying. Like, look how big that guy is.
Oh, I know.
Let me put your full screen, mate.
Okay.
Because
that's like, I'll bring it here. Is there a bit more light? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man, that is.
So it's like, I don't know how many layers that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 layers of rotary, and I had to go around it all with a multimeter to be like, and then I've written, how many holes there are in each thing, so that I can
make most cabinets on board have them switches in.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You don't have the one I've got that's like, I don't know, like 15, a 15 stack rotary. That, can you imagine being the poor bloke that had to wire that up?
The wiring was beautiful.
It's all the same.
Was it all
wire too?
It was all sorts of colors, with like a bunch of bits holding it down. But yeah, I'm just going to build it into a stupid synthesizer. But It'll look
that's
cool.
going to be insane.
Mm.
Yeah.
And all them knobs are like Bakelite,
Mhm.
like old school.
They are delicious knobs. Yeah, they are
Yeah.
as nice as it gets. Like when it first turned up at the house, like Grindle, who runs Life is Unfair, who I was talking about earlier, who helped me learn to build stuff. We were both round and we were just endlessly twisting this one rotary switch, being like, whoa, have a twiddle of that. I think I had a few people come around to like fix the fire or whatever, and they were like, whoa, have a twist on that. It's just, it's so nice. Yeah. I mean, it's sad to be so excited about it, but yeah, it's lovely.
I've got
Back when
loads of stuff
ergonomics
like that.
mattered.
Yeah, loads of stuff on board the ship. You'd be going around and you see like an MXR knob on something where I've took the Bakelite knob off and put a shit.
Oh, really?
on
Oh, I'd
And it's
100%
like-
do that. Yeah.
And the boss is like, "Is that fire retardant?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
100%. Yeah. Oh, I'd be yanking all of that stuff away.
100%.
Aesthetically, like I don't think I've been on like a warship since I was maybe like a teenager, like going out of London or something to some like museum. But aesthetically, like radio rooms and stuff, they just look so good.
And stuff isn't built like that anymore. Like
No.
you know, like old ships, because the ships I save on are like the oldest in the Navy. Because the new ones are computers and I hate computers. But it's just stuff was just built like to last forever. And I don't think they were intending it to be as well built as it is. It just is.
Yeah. It's just sort of
it's like
a
planned
nice.
obsolescence.
Yeah, that's not a thing there, is it?
Yeah.
It's solid. I
They didn't come into full swing probably until the 70s or 80s, I think.
As soon as more money
And
gets
also
involved,
the technology that we're using, the tech that we're using is kind of old. So it was like mainstream then. So people are kind of, it's more readily available, which means that the standards are probably higher than what we're getting now because it's like all mass produced in factories in China where it's just like, and it's all old. Yeah, it's not. It's not like it's not going in an iPhone, is it? It's not cutting edge tech or stuff like that. So.
It'd be a very big iPhone, I think.
Oh yeah, could you imagine like
that'd actually be quite sick. I'd be on for that. Like a massive.
You'd be like the
enclosure
1980s, the 1980s gangster with a tube iPhone.
Yes, yeah, that'd be awesome.
More like a telephone box, like.
Well, remember that guy I was telling you to design the acoustic guitar synthesizer, the first unit. He prototyped that and patented it back in late 1970 something. The original control unit was the size of a refrigerator. It wasn't until like
so cool.
you know, we got the surface mount components and everything down that he could get the control unit to a size you could put it inside your guitar. So that's how far we've come in those 30 or 40 years.
I freak myself out a bit where I will watch videos on like, you know, space flight stuff from like whatever it is, like the 60s, and just thinking about alleged space flight. But I mean,
got to get our tinfoil speedos on for Mr. Craze Fandango there.
If that's happened, like that is like mental levels, like it's such low levels of tech to be going out and doing like crazy stuff like that. Which does make me weirdly skeptical. Like, I would go out into space with that like level of stuff. But
I can believe it.
What?
Yeah.
Even the most advanced fighter jets today, like the F-35, still only has less than the memory card that I put in my camera to film with.
Really?
With memory. Yeah.
I guess is that just so it's less to go wrong?
No, I don't think so, because they are so complex. It just doesn't need it.
Okay.
You know, they don't put in more than it needs. You know, it's a lot less than what you think, because technology is always evolving. By the time it comes into the military, it's been, you know, procured, tested, or whatever. It's obsolete. So I can believe that they went into space with not a lot.
Yeah. And like computer guidance stuff back then, mental.
Well, they thought that they had the most advanced stuff in the world at that point. Yeah,
I mean, they did. Like
they did.
Yeah, well,
to be fair,
I can't imagine not having GPS. Like, it blows my mind. I would be lost forever if I didn't have GPS.
Well, you wouldn't have GPS if they didn't go up there and put it up there in the first place. So somebody had to do it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. The pioneers, man. There wouldn't be certain places if somebody didn't set foot there first.
Yeah. Cheers, lads.
Yeah, cheers. Do you know what someone said to me the other day? They said, "Do you remember the time when you could be in a pub having an argument about something like, I don't know, the year that someone won a certain cup or whatever, and you couldn't just look on your phone and Google it and get the answer?" And like, Wow, yeah, that's a good point because I am old enough to remember that, but that's a different world.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that. If somebody needed to get in touch with you and you weren't anywhere near a telephone, they weren't getting in touch with you.
That sounds nice.
Until answering machines were invented, and then it was up to you to call them back.
Even things like when Run Off Groove was like the only place I could find any sort of layout or circuit. I mean, mad.
Yeah, tag board effects, like the blog spot page was the big one for me. When I found that was like my mind explosion moment where I was like, oh, I could just build all of this stuff. Like, because I had no money to really like buy too many pedals. And when I just ended up spending all that money that I could have just bought the pedals with, buying bits and equipment and stuff. So,
but you wouldn't have had nearly as much fun.
Exactly. Still be as poor as I am now, I guess. But yeah, that was awesome. And I remember like the first time, I think I'd gone like back to my parents or something, would have been like having to go back over Christmas and then just being like, this isn't actually painful because I can just go on this website and just imagine all the stuff that I could be building. I think I just like screenshotted everything that was like less than 15 components. And I was like, I could probably do that without getting a migraine. So we'll just start there.
I still go on there now and peruse for things to build just for the love of it. What a resource. I mean, unbelievable. And not just that, the comment section. If you get past some of the people saying, I've built this, it doesn't work, tell me why. I'm like, come on, mate. Put a bit of effort in, or at least, the guy isn't psychic. Who's the guy? Mark Hamill, is it? The guy who
Mark Hammer.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, a lot of those Skywalker.
Those usernames are just like imprinted in my brain as well. Because they'd be there, what was the other one? Like Mirasol or something like that. Where they'd be like you just see them every single time. And like whenever you'd get to something where you're like, oh, I'm not sure how this works. And you look at the comments and someone's already had the issue. It's already been sorted. And you're like, oh, I'll just do that. And that's an incredible resource.
Jack Orman, I think, was one of the names that pops up all the time.
Tim Escobedo.
Yep.
I love those. All those circuits are incredible. I mean,
Aaron, who was it? Aaron was the other guy. You always saw them collaborate too. Like they would work on circuits and bounce ideas back and forth. So,
but they're just so clever as well. Like, because that stuff was like they could have been speaking a foreign language when that first.
Oh yeah.
When I first started watching that, I didn't understand any of it.
Yeah.
And that's how you learn. Yeah, there you go. Tim Escobedo, definitely.
His stuff definitely, I feel like, evolved into Devi's stuff as well. Those circuits. Yeah. There's similarities between those two where I'm like, I can totally see how this would evolve.
On her last YouTube video, she talks for like 15 minutes. She's saying that she just picked Tim's circuits, stacked 2 or 3 of them together, and then there's a pedal designer. And that's just fantastic. I love that. And what I love most is the fact that them early guys didn't keep their cards close to their chest and say, well, I've got this amazing circuit. Yeah. Let's goop it and stop people from ever building it. Cheers, Bill Finnegan. But you know what I mean? It's just like,
I mean, it's like a different audience as well, isn't it? Like I can't imagine I would ever be selling pedals for that amount of money from the get-go anyway. So maybe I'd be gooping stuff if I wanted to go down that route.
The thing is, no matter like somebody's going to figure it out.
Yeah,
somebody's going to figure it out.
We had Aaron from Dominion Electric. I don't know if you've ever seen them. His pedals are like, they're amazing, like unbelievably amazing. His pedals are pretty expensive, and he still shows people the ins and outs of them. And it's, I think at that point, like you're paying for him to build a pedal rather than for what the pedal is.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think I think it's like a different audience as well, like the DIY stuff and the general pedal audience. Those people aren't always going to be buying pedals from you, so it's like might as well just keep the community going. Just all fun, isn't it? And then you get new stuff out of that. Like people take it further, like with the Escobedo stuff. If that didn't exist, then the Devi stuff wouldn't exist, and if that didn't exist, then like the next generation wouldn't have existed, and so on and so forth.
Would shoegaze exist? Do you think if them early DIY builders hadn't put circuits out and people?
I don't know. I mean, they were just like a lot of the early stuff is just basically torturing stuff that shouldn't be used for that, right? Like, I'm trying to think what are the big shoegaze pedals? Like the HM2 is like a shoegaze thing in that scene, and you wouldn't think that that's what it is, but it's just shitloads of distortion and loads of EQ. Is like kind of perfect for making massive walls of noise.
I think that's an underrated pedal. I think if that had a narrower EQ, that would be as legendary as any high gain pedal that you can ever dream up of.
I mean, because in the scenes I hang out in, it is seen as that. Like,
well, I modified an MT2, and I was so surprised at how good it sounded. Anyway, it's just a very narrow. Well, sorry, it's a very wide EQ, so there's only like a specific area that if you don't know how to use it, people are setting, it sounds terrible.
I've got a lot of my big theory is that a lot of those pedals, like the Metal Zone and whatever else, like a Big Muff or something, is like people's first pedal. So most people's association is with them, struggling to play Seven Nation Army or something through it. And that's sort of how that pedal sticks in your brain, or listening to someone else struggling to play it. Whereas when you go back to it and you're like more comfortable playing guitar, or whatever, you're like, oh, like I played a DS1 like a few years back, and I was like, oh, every time I've heard this in the past, it sounded awful. I mean, I did chop the clipping diodes out, but I was like, this sounds incredible. Yeah. It's all about the volume for me. But even stock, I really like a DS1.
Do you know what I struggled with? And it's so weird because I love Brian Wampler, so I did like a couple of Brian Wampler mods to a DS1. But when I first got it, I remember hating it. And then I realized it's because even for a blues boomer like myself, all you have to do is turn the gain down. It sounds amazing. But I just, in my head, I probably never took it below 12 o'clock because who does that with pedals when I first started? And when I actually used the gain control, I was like, wow, I set it low. It sounds like a blues pedal all over. It's so versatile.
I've always done the take all the gain out and just turn the volume up to the max thing. Do you know what I mean? Just push an amplifier as loud as it'll go. That's when all the fun stuff happens.
I wish someone could go back to young me and say, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Because I spent so much on all this pedal after pedal after pedal. I was like, none of it sounds any good. And it's because I was like, 12 o'clock, go. I just didn't know. Do you know what I do? I go through magazines and try and catch a glimpse. I was like, that amplifier's on 2 o'clock there, right? I'm going to set it to 2 o'clock.
I think, like, do you remember, did you ever read Total Guitar magazines? I've been back, like, Grindle, who runs Life is Unfair, is always like making fun of me for talking about it too much because I've started like buying them all off eBay again for the nostalgia hit.
Yes.
But those little like before that you get to the tab and they've got like the little EQ settings printed out where it's like, I remember being like putting that into my like crappy little Laney amp and being like, this doesn't sound anything like this band. Like these guys are idiots. And I mean that like logic as a child as well. I mean, I wasn't a child. I would have been like 16, so I probably should have known better. But you are then like, I don't get it. Like, why would this setting even be in here if it doesn't sound exactly like the band? This doesn't sound anything like the CD I've got.
So do you know what I think it is? In my head, I assume that valve amplifiers work like something like the Quad Cortex. You set this amp to this volume and it sounds like that. Not, I'm in a big room. It's got more reverb, or I'm in a smaller room. I have a different speaker. I have a different, infinite number of things.
Cabs is the biggest one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what cabs and speakers do you prefer for your gigging?
So the cab that I use, like ideally, I will take like the most generic, like a 19. What is it? Like a JCM 800 lead. What does that say? Is it 1960? Can't read it. It's too dark. That is like, I love that bog standard Marshall cab, and I've got loads of those speakers in the garage just in case stuff goes. And then
always good to have spares.
Yeah, exactly. And the orange, I've got like an orange 2x12 that's got a swamp thing.
I love that. That's what my avatar. I've got two swamp things in my avatar.
I'm trying to think what the other one is. It's like a mid-heavy. Would it be like the Governor or something like that?
Yeah, I was going to say the swamp thing and the Governor. I've seen those put.
I think that's what's in it. I can't. It's been ages since I wired that up.
For somebody that I worked on an amplifier for, I did a speaker swap on a Fender Twin, and one of the speakers was a Patriot, and the other was a Governor.
Okay,
like we did the American English pair.
Nice.
There you go. Dave said he stacked his he's got the best collection of warm audio gear, but he stacked 5 Foxy tone boxes a few weeks ago with some good results.
Oh man,
They're such cool looking pedals.
Is that like a Fox?
It's a Fox
tone machine.
Vendor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Fox tone machine.
Yeah, so Warm Audio have cloned them, and they've done like different like reissues of it, so different colors and stuff.
They got the orange and the purple, and
yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So good. Well, so for speakers, I've got this little tiny. Have you ever heard of bare-face cabs? I've got this tiny little bare-face cab. It's a 10-inch speaker, but I put a JBL in it, an E110.
Okay. Yeah.
And guitar shows like Birmingham Guitar Show and stuff. See all these 412 amps and whatever. And I put this tiny little speaker out with a Victory V40 on it. And the sound police are coming over and telling me to turn down straight away. I'm like, what the hell? Because it's just so brutal.
So that's all you need. Like, I mean, I only feel like you need the 4 speakers or 2 speakers when you're in the band context anyway, like just to get a good sound, or if you're micing it up, you know, for recording or whatever, a single speaker will get you. I mean, you're only really ever micing up a single speaker anyway, so.
I think with the 412 you get a different bass feel from it, so it feels better to play to me anyway.
But, and it looks cool. I think that's the main bit that people won't admit. Like,
well, I'm happy to admit that, and not only that, the orange amplifiers and cabs look so good.
Like, they do.
It's the old 2x12 I got, the one that's like too big before they made them smaller. And it's like, you know, it's been battered. It's also got like coffee stains on it, so it's I don't know what sort of gigs were going on there where people were having mugs of coffee, but
I feel like you're telling me you relicked your cab. That's fantastic.
Not intentionally. I buy everything broken because then I can't break it any further. Like it's already wrecked, so I don't worry about it. It's like,
you know, buy a used car because then you're not going to be worried about scratching it the first time.
Yeah.
I'm really weird with stuff like that. I love a relic. I love anything like that because I feel like I don't need to worry about it. I'm not like precious, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas I bought some gear that I'm like, I really don't want to market. Like I've got a guitar here from Lenton Guitars, like a little builder out in Holland. Absolutely amazing guitars, but it's pristine, and I'm scared to knock it. It's expensive. Like I don't want to break it in any way. Whereas like my old guitars is just like whatever.
Yeah, I think I don't have many expensive guitars. I guess it's like I've got expensive parts that I've put on other guitars, but I tend to just like. If I'm too, I don't think I've ever been the kind of person that's like too worried to take stuff out, because I feel like the music that I play wouldn't really work if I was, you know, because you're swinging guitars around and giving yourself like some sort of brain injury by doing it. But that's part of it for me, you know. That's keeps it exciting. And I'll just play like silly guitars anyway. Like I just pull all the controls out and just wire them straight to the jack, so I don't have to knock any. I've had like one gig where a pickup like collapsed into the pick guard, and I was like, right, that's it. I'm making this like as unbreakable as possible. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just that's it.
I think you get a brighter sound out of it if you're taking all the stuff out the way. Definitely.
Yeah, it messes with like impedance.
Yeah, but definitely.
It's just so that I don't break it, basically. Like, or in the band that I was using that guitar in, I was definitely breaking stuff more often. So it was like, if I just get rid of it, I can't break it.
That's so good. So what guitars do you use then when you're testing pedals? Do you have like a different pickups and stuff like that, or do you have like a guitar that you go to?
I try and use the cheapest stuff that I've got because I want to know that it sounds the best with like the worst things that I have. I've got this like little Squier Jag. One of the pickups has gone microphonic now. The neck pickup has, but I'm only really testing with the bridge most of the time. And that just happens to be like a really nice guitar. And then I like rotate stuff because I've got too many guitars in the house, obviously. And I've got the bass 6 that I play with my band. At the minute, I'm really into like this Telly, like custom, you know, like the classic, like 90s, whatever this is.
Oh
yeah. Yep.
You know,
it just reminds me of Snow Patrol.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why. But it's all like I ruined this neck by trying to drill it to put another thing on, so I had to get my mate to fix it properly. And the back's all covered in tape. But this is in drop A at the minute, which is like the most I've never tuned. Well, the bass 6 is obviously tuned lower, but I've never tuned that low, so it's just fun like to shift tunings. And I like to mess with like just like yanking random strings to different pitches. So like my high E string is always whatever I'm playing. It's normally the bottom's dropped and I've got the high E string is tuned to the first fret of the B string, if that makes sense. So you can basically play like screechy chords with one finger. So in the same way as you would do a power chord with one finger if you're in drop D, you can also do the like sound with just one finger. So it means you can play like it sounds like you're playing something really complicated, but in actual fact, it's just like single finger stuff. And it also
gold gauges then as well to get it so low.
I've got big old it's like 13 to 62 or something like that, I think.
Yep.
On those, and then like 100 gauge on the bass 6 is the like lowest string. I really like playing with thick strings because I used to just break strings all the time.
Same here, yeah.
So I just go thicker and thicker, and
even on like a standard scale length guitar, like the lowest I'll go is an 11 to like a 50.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And then that's only if I'm going down one whole step. If I'm going down like lower than D to D, then I've got to go even thicker.
Oh yeah, I just love a thick string as well. I think it sounds way like chunkier and thicker, and like when you just have a loud amp and a fat old string, there's like nothing more satisfying.
Well,
yeah,
weren't the original string gauges for electric guitar like 14s?
It's like jazz stuff is like that a lot of the time, isn't it? Like big old thicks.
Like it wasn't for a long time before they could get the string gauge down below like 12 for the unwound.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess like just physically making
just physically because the metallurgy wasn't there yet.
I thought it was all bullshit. I've got to say, and until really not that long ago, I think Rick Beato made a video on string gauge saying, you know, lighter strings give you more treble or whatever. And I was like, this is rubbish. And so I put headphones on, especially to listen to the video. And I was like, he must have monkeyed with the recording to make it sound this different, because it between like the 9s and the 11s was like night and day.
They feel completely different.
So I changed the strings on one of my guitars and went from like 9s to 11. I play 10s normally because I'm bored, and of course,
it's what you like, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's the easiest string that I know I'll always be able to find.
Fair, yeah.
But I changed them around, and I was like, I think I actually prefer the feel of 10s because I've always played them, but 11s sound better. And I just can't play anything too thin because I think it's my technique. I'm not very technical, so I'm like bending out of pitch.
I do that as well, especially after getting used to the thick strings. You know, like a lot of my mates will play with 9s because they want to play fast or whatever, and I'm like, that just feels silly to me. That feels like a toy guitar. I can't. Everything's like wibbling all over, and I love like short scale guitars and stuff, but I still just put big old like that. Jag shouldn't. It's in drop B currently, and it's like it just shouldn't be in that tuning. But it's never complained, and it's just like the intonation's fine. Like I'm just waiting for something to happen, but I've had that guitar for at least 5 years, and it's like just happy to be abused in that way. So maybe I was just lucky. I don't know. Lucky or stupid, it's one of the two.
I got a Music Master, you know, the 24-inch scale.
Okay, yeah.
What's the 2 pickup version? Music Master's just a neck pickup, isn't it? There's a 2 pickup version.
They're like that looks like a Mustang.
Yeah, but it's like the bare basics. I got a 62 version. It's in like a
Duosonic.
Duosonic, that's it. From Moto Music in Cardiff.
Oh, sick. Okay, yeah. I've never been there, but it's like my mate used to like practice around the corner from there, and I've just never gone. It's literally by his house. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've never been. I seen this guitar online. It was not all that much money, and I was like, I'm buying it. And the short scale, I love it. Great.
I love short scale guitars.
Me too.
Makes me feel really big.
I was going to say I'm really short. I have this running argument / debate / banter with Mr. Craze Fandango, and because I can't play a Strat, they're just too long. It's all in the wrong place for me, and it's because I'm really short. But them short scale ones are just.
Oh yeah, it's fun. And going back and forth, like play a little tiny Mustang and then play a bass 6, and it's like everything just feels fresh again. It's like I think it's really nice to have it like shift, and you're like, oh, well, I can't play that chord anymore. I'm gonna have to figure it out some other way, and then you like end up playing something else just because you physically can't reach those bits.
I've never played
I like that Mustang on the wall behind me. That's like a mocker. Boy, that plays really nice. That was one that I just tried in a guitar in like Andertons years ago, and was like, I just can't not buy it now.
I need to go to Anderton's just to have a look around.
It's a great shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to get a pedal in the cabinet just to have one in there. Jeffrey Shockley says, have you ever tried String Joy?
Yes, I have. I have them on
there,
both of these guitars right now, I think, right? Or no, I've got them on my Chibson right now. And that's what I've been using because I couldn't get DRs in the type that I wanted. I usually use DR Pure Blues.
Okay.
And these are the pure nickel String Joys. And so far, they've sounded and held up really well. But
I've heard good things.
I've had decades of experience with DRs, and this is my first set of String Joys. So
I've always just bought Elixirs because I know
they're a
people
scam.
Think the coating,
it's a scam.
Weird, and
it's a scam, dude.
Yeah, but they last long.
No, they don't.
They last long.
They kill your tone. As soon as you hit it with a pick, you are turning that thing into a bowstring silencer. Physics doesn't lie.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying they don't go rusty with my sweaty hands.
Well, that's why you should get dragon skin or something like that. Something without that nano web coating.
Was that last episode that we had the dragon skin?
Yeah.
They're red strings, right?
They make it clear too.
I need to look into them.
Yeah, but like we said, that nano web coating, it keeps them from getting rusty, but it kills all your tone. As soon as you start playing that Teflon coating, which is what it is, shreds into little poof balls. And what those do is they kill the string vibration immediately. That's what you put on a bowstring to silence the bowstring twang when you're hunting, or to keep your enemies from knowing your position when you're taking them out in Sherwood Forest.
Well,
there's little puff balls. There's little puff balls of fur that they would put in the bowstrings. It's the same concept. Same concept when your strings start coating starts coming off.
John, the only bit I can argue with is all the tone kills all of my tone. I haven't got any, mate. There's not.
Well, that's probably why.
Genuinely, though, I just detest changing strings. I try and last the longest I can. It's like getting a haircut. I'll get it cut really short. My wife's like, if you join the American Marines, like hoo-ha or whatever, like, no, I don't have to get a haircut.
Well, too, you probably have a much saltier environment too, with the air being close to the coast and stuff. So
you see.
Yeah, I imagine if I was like closer to the coastline, my strings would be like rusting all to pieces.
Yeah, so I'm down in Portsmouth, so it's like it's sea all around. Like, it's pretty rusty. Well, yeah, I don't know. I've never been one for expensive strings. And another thing, what you got to remember is, mate, we're in the UK. There isn't that much choice.
Yeah, it's true.
You're going to import it.
So, yeah, unless you had some sort of artist deal, I guess it'd be incredibly expensive. Then you'd be paying customs as well.
Exactly.
It's just NYXLs for me. They're just readily available and I can order them whenever. I try and order in bulk just so that it's just there then and I don't think about it for a bit and then it's only painful once.
Yeah. And also if you're playing live, you can get them because you've got them.
Yeah.
Rather than oh no,
ubiquitous.
I'll shove whatever. Like if it comes to it and I'm desperate, I'll shove whatever on a guitar. Like for one show, I'll just have to tune up as I'm playing. It needs must sometimes. Like you just got to do what gets you through the show. Like,
there's nothing quite like going to sea for 3 months and in that first week you snap a string and realize you've got none on board. Oh no, I've got no E string.
Crazy.
It's time to become Keith Richards then.
Yeah.
Well, it's the wrong end of the guitar.
No, you broke the low E.
Like the little
bestie. The little one. Okay.
You broke, no, that's not time to become Keith Richards. He never put the high E. Yeah, he doesn't use the high E. He said that's useless. No, the high E is useless to him.
He's have you ever read his book? That's an interesting read, I've got to say. It's in my top 10 of insane.
I haven't read that one.
I imagine there'd be quite a few stories in there, like.
Oh, I imagine so.
Yeah.
It's good because I've read it. I'm a bit of a reader. Now, I'd never read a book before I joined the Navy because I was stupid. But now I read quite a bit, and I've read all like other people's accounts from the same time. Like,
that's interesting. Yeah,
and it all correlates together. And interestingly enough, none of them talk about gear. They're all
really
professional guitarists or whatever. And I'd be like, that would be my thing. Like,
then I bought this, and then I had I would do the same.
Yeah, and I had this gig, but I got to play this amp. And
Yeah, I guess they just played whatever they had knocking about. Like that was the
Somebody said, "Hey, the stage is this way. Can you make it?" Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm sure there was other sort of substances impairing their decisions as well. But
yeah, no doubt.
A fun time.
I don't know. I think my mind's much more clear for building pedals without any substances.
Although, yeah, I'd agree. It's the healthier way to do it.
Oh, definitely. My wife's trying to get me to give up coffee, by the way. It's like the only thing I've got in my life. I don't drink.
You've got to have some joy.
And I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Let me have one thing.
Yeah, let me have coffee.
Yeah.
I don't know. To be fair, actually, I went out on Saturday night and drank 3 pints of Guinness, and I've never felt so rough in all my life, by the way. Talk about being old. I'm not a prop sailing anymore.
I mean, I've been like that since I'm not a big drinker, to be honest. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I think I just got it out of my system as a teenager. I think growing up in the UK, you have to like hammer it as a teenager. So it's like, I've made myself ill far too often now. I'm over it.
I think that generation's gone, mate. So
really?
It was the same for me, yeah. So I in my work, when I'm duty, I do like rounds of an evening, go around, talk to the guys or whatever. And when I was younger, it'd be like people are drinking or they're getting ready to go out or stuff like that. And on a Saturday night, I'll go around and say, right, lads, you getting ready to go? They're like, oh, no, Chief, we're just we're building a Lego Eiffel Tower tonight. We're like,
interesting.
And or they're like on the they're like trying to look at me, but the computer's there and they're like, it's so weird. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
I wonder if it's like a social media thing where they don't want to be filmed. Like, because I imagine if there was footage of me as a teenager, like I wouldn't want that circulating.
Although some of it I would, I'd be a million.
Yeah, maybe,
now, man. Like some of the stuff we did that was Daredevil stunts.
Yeah.
Viral like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
I think when I was a teenager, though, I'd have been more embarrassed about someone filming me make a Lego Eiffel Tower.
Possibly, yeah.
That's
true.
probably true. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't. But they and I actually said to some of them once, has anyone actually gone out thinking someone was going to say, oh, I went out last night or something? And one that put his hand up and said, where'd you go? He said, I went out to buy some new underwear today. Like, I give up. I give up, you know. It's I think it's a change. And I think that's this is another thing. I think that's impacted the live scene for music. Because people they're either computer games or gym. I've noticed they're them two things. No one's ever like, oh, there's a band playing somewhere I want to go and see, and that sort of culture's dying off a little bit. And until the next generation, if you know what I mean.
It's difficult, yeah. It'll be one of those things that it just comes in cycles, doesn't it? It's like with everything. As soon as people stop doing something, people go, hang on a minute, I want to do that now. It's like the vinyl resurgence and stuff. I know it never truly went away for people who are collecting that, but waves like that is like almost like protest thing of people being like, oh, well, that's out. I'm going to bring it back in then. That seems to be the way that things work. Hopefully, I can still be about for at least one more wave of people turning up to shows.
I think it's coming, as I say. We're just riding that wave out. And hopefully the pub culture comes back. I must admit, some of my happiest times as a kid were going to a pub of a Sunday to play pool or snooker or whatever. And just being around that environment. So that naturally makes music come, I think. I've completely missed all of the comments, but unfortunately, guys, I'm in work at 5 o'clock tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to call the show there.
All right.
Don't you love having a real job? I've got a people job.
That is madness. Real person job.
A real person job.
Real person job. Do you know what? Watch out for the Hello Sailor Effects t-shirt coming soon that says I've got a real person job. And it's oh no.
I wouldn't be allowed to wear that one.
I had a real person job.
I had a real person job.
Do you know what? I don't have a real job. I just sit behind the desk all day, like telling people to turn up on time. It's fantastic. But
you got what they call the pie job.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh, mate, it's been great to have you on, and I'm amazed by some of your pedals. I say, your videos. If people don't watch his YouTube channel, you need to go and watch it. There's some pretty awesome builds and just tones in general. It's nothing like my usual blues boomer stuff. It's like the opposite.
We probably are polar opposites in that sense. Yeah. I apologize in advance for anyone who's offended by that.
You can't get offended by tone, mate.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
we need all kinds of tone. It takes
Yeah.
as many tones as we can possibly make to make the world go round. That's for sure.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. Well, thank
Right.
you, and I
Yeah.
shall see you in
Cheers.
2 weeks' time.
All right. Cheers.